Education is one of the major foundations for a country to grow and progress. If you look at any country which has developed in the past few decades, they've always had strong educational institutions. They've fixed them, they made them stronger, and I think that that is the investment which every country has to make for the future. So I'm really glad that we've got this conclave together and a very important subject about public-private partnership, how we can make it work in higher education. We have with us, of course, the main person who's driving this whole change in this country, the Honorable Minister for Human Resources and Development, Mr. Kapil Sibal. Welcome, sir. The theme of this conclave is something that the Minister has been pursuing assiduously, making public-private partnership in education work in this country. With the Right to Education Bill still just half digested, the Minister's plate is already more than full. But he's clearly a glutton of sorts, since he's now simultaneously pushing a number of education bills. One, to invite foreign universities to set up campuses in India. Second, for compulsory accreditation of institutes in higher education. Third, a bill for formation of an overarching National Commission of Higher Education and Research. And fourth, to control malpractices in higher education. As I said, I believe the two most important foundations for a country to progress are education and health. You take care of these and all else will fall in place. To start this conclave, I present to you the person who is the harbinger of change in education, Honorable Union Minister for Human Resources Development, Mr. Kapil Sibal. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. Well, I have to say that one of the reasons why I agreed to come here this morning is because I believe that the India Today group is also passionately involved in giving an impetus to education and deeply involved in empowering our children. And so I know your passion, I know your group's passion, and I share this view with you that if India wants to be a leader in the global community, our window of opportunity is about 10, 12 years, not more than that. Let me just give you a couple of figures so that you realize the enormity of the challenge that is ahead of us. The number of children in the age group of 0 to 14 in India is about 400 million, which is almost the entire population of Europe, more than the population of the United States of America. That's the number of children in our country. Now, do we have enough? Number one, we ask ourselves the question, do we have enough institutions to take care of them? And another figure I want to give you is that about 26 million children actually reach college in India. Of the 200 million, over 200 million that go to school, only 26 million reach college within the age group of 18 to 24. So about 180 odd million never reach college. That's frightening. Willy-nilly, we'll have to actually involve the private sector. We have no choices here. We need to involve the private sector. We need to give them incentives. And Arun, talking about a topical thing today, how do you set up a university if you auction land? At the moment, the private sector that is involved in education, I'm sorry to say, are the sons, relatives, daughters, daughter-in-law, sons-in-law, mother-in-law of politicians, mostly. When I took over as the minister, I decided, look, there are some basic changes needed in the education sector, and let me in the next 1 year draft appropriate legislation to put this system in place. I want to de-link government from education. Government should only set standards, but government should not be involved in inspection. Now, let's move on. Let's assume now that the private sector will build 800 universities or expand exponentially present universities. And we will build 500,000 colleges. The next question is, what about the 150 million, 180 million who will never reach college anyway? What happens to them? There the private sector has an enormous role to play.